So basically, this is going to be a virtual dispatch for any type of crane company. So there's four things that happen, whether it's your normal business line, your
Yeah,
website, your social media, and your ads, all go to your AI assistant. So when a customer calls and interacts with any one of these, your
yeah,
AI is going to be picking up. So in your case, it would be Dave. And usually when most people call companies, there's about five things that happen usually, whether they want to schedule a lift, they want a quote, or they just need some information or talk to different departments in your company, or emergency calls or after hours. So we'll go over the main thing, which is going to make you guys cash, which would be wants to schedule a lift or wants a quote. So there's two things that happen. The first thing that the AI does is qualifies the job. So whether if somebody wants to lift a hippo, an HVAC unit, a truss, hot tub, some concrete or some trees, the AI collects the job details like a dispatcher would, figures out what they're moving, gets all the necessary details for the job like weight, dimensions, height, site conditions. Then the AI takes all that information and essentially what it does is based on what the customer tells them, we feed up all the load charts with your current assets in your company, and the AI picks the right kind of crane that's the most cost effective for the job that can safely handle the job. So it reads the load charts, recommends the best crane based on what they want to move, depending on the weight. And the AI has the capabilities to handle quick math for estimates, reference unique load charts, manage objections, answer customer questions with basic problem solving, creative follow-up. It even asks questions just to ensure that, they get the right details for the job. Once the AI takes that, it recommends a crane with a price estimate. So it would recommend like a 30 ton depending on the job, presents it back to the customer over the phone. Once it gives it back to the customer over the phone, there's three things that happen. So the first thing is optional. The AI can actually book directly into a calendar. If the business decides to set up a calendar, the AI can directly slot it into a calendar, so it would look like that. But the main thing would be no, they're not ready to move forward. They're just looking around. Then it sends it back to the CRM. So now you've saved your team about 30 minutes of conversation where somebody that was just price shopping. So
yeah.
your team doesn't have to stop. If they say yes, let's book it. The AI logs the information, sends it over to the CRM, at the same time alerts the ops team. And the ops team basically just calls back the customer confirming the job details with the client and then dispatches the crane to the site. Then once your job is completed, then your team can now collect payment. And another add-on for companies, if you choose to have so, the AI can call the person after the job to ensure everything was up to their liking and text them immediately after the call with a Google review link to boost up your Google reviews. There's an option. And then,
That's huge.
yep. And then comes back to the admin team. And then the last two, if people want to talk to departments or emergency calls after hours, it transfers to the different departments that most companies have. So essentially, non-negotiables with our system would include that every call is answered, so you're not missing calls anymore to your competitors. Every customer is qualified, so the job details are logged properly, so nothing slips through the cracks. So as a business owner, you're getting proper metrics in your business as to who's calling for what. Every quote is accurate because it's operating within guidelines you set, and every lead is followed up with. So in the case that you send out a quote or a proposal, AI can follow up until to make sure that they follow through with the purchase or cancel the job. And every job is closed with a review request. So it's consistent 5-star review growth becomes automatic. So bottom line is missed calls is lost lifts, poor qualification, wrong crane, weak follow-up means jobs lost to competitors. So with AI, we're solving all of these problems. And that's about it. So essentially, that's the workflow for a virtual dispatch, I guess, basic virtual dispatch for most crane companies.
Yeah, that's huge. Like it obviously saves the crane company a lot of time and kind of unnecessary, follow-ups where guys are just need a quick answer. Hey, I needed 200 ton. Oh, we only have 80 tons, right? So that there's no need to follow up on something like that because we just can't service them. So, and then
Yeah.
obviously saves the office time. And also, yeah, the big thing is just never missing another lead, which is huge, right? Because crane companies, a new customer isn't going to leave a voicemail. They're going to just hang up and phone the next person on the Google list, right? So making you thousands of dollars over just even just the first week, month, right?
Yeah, it's super, super. It saves companies a lot of time, especially if guys are window shopping. Your team
Yeah.
takes 30 minutes to answer their questions, whereas by the time AI is done with that exact same conversation they're gonna have anyways, it's a couple of cents versus, $30 an hour or even $17 an hour.
Yeah, and it just takes a bit of pressure off of everybody, right? On the sales, the dispatching, the ownership. If there is a missed call, it's taken care of, right? Which takes a huge weight off of our shoulders and kind of a bit of the stress out of the phones, because the phones I find in the crane business are like the most important part, right? And it's the most high pressure part. Every job comes through the phones or the website or the emails, right? So if that's not taken care of, then the employees aren't working and we're not making money. So
100%. Absolutely, I agree. It's cool.
yeah, and it's awesome. Yeah, like the Google reviews after, right? That's huge that we can just kind of build that naturally and
Automatically.
we're not, yeah, automatically and we're not, forgetting about these things, right? It just takes a lot of the human error out of it and the job is done, whether, the dispatcher shows up sick that day, it still gets done.
Exactly.